Hi there. Hey, today I want to talk about intuition. Intuition has been called more important than the intellect by famous, very smart people. People like Tesla used intuition to figure out amazing things that he could invent in the universe. And people like Edison used intuition. He liked to get down into that alpha level of consciousness every day, taking these naps when he could go into that alpha level and get his brilliant ideas. Einstein even said that intuition was the most important thing. He used a lot of intuition to figure out his theories. Well, yesterday I had an experience that I want to share with you that proved to me how valuable intuition is. A few days ago, my car was making this funky little noise. It wasn't a big noise. It was just kind of, I noticed it at certain times when I'd turn the car or start it up, but it wasn't a big deal. So yesterday, my intuition said, why don't you go down to the garage, even though you're not a garage person. It's not usually my favorite place to be, but I took myself down there and my mechanic put the car on the lift. And he said, well, there's a little flap here that's making that noise, but you've got a bigger problem. Let me show you. And he showed me how one of the front wheels was ready to fall off. And he said, you can't drive the car like this. The wheel could fall off and that could be really, really a bad thing. So I said, okay, let's fix it. So he ordered the parts and took the wheel apart. And then they showed me how the ball joint was just completely messed up. I mean, really, I think the wheel would have fallen off. And because sometimes I take a drive up to Boston, which is about 65 miles on a highway, and you got to go kind of fast and everything. And my God, what if my wheel had fallen off when I was driving up to Boston? That would not have been a good thing. So I was very grateful that I used my intuition to check it out and to go into the garage to see what the problem was. And sure enough, it was a bigger problem. I've noticed throughout the course of my life that my higher self has a way to warn me, protect me, keep me safe when there's something up ahead, because this is how it works. Your higher self, if you meditate regularly and you tune into it, knows exactly what's coming down the road because you're eternal. Your higher self can see the future. I've had very many prophetic dreams in my life. I've talked about some of them I don't even want to talk about because they might come true. But, you can tune into not just your higher self, but this divine universal consciousness, which will show you things. And if you need a warning, it will show up as an intuitive feeling. I just had this feeling I needed to go to the garage yesterday and get it checked out. And I kind of went reluctantly. It was later in the day and I wasn't really up for it, but I went and I had a really good time talking to the guys that work there. I always do. So it turned out to be a real positive in that sense too. But, people that use their intuition that have taken my seminars over the years can intuitively figure out things about their bodies. Maybe they need some kind of supplement or a different diet or a new exercise program. Something is going on that needs to be addressed. And rather than ignoring it or just going to a medical person and getting a pill to treat the symptoms, they go in and intuitively figure out what is going on in their system, their body, and they make the corrections using their intuition. It is such a powerful, powerful sense that we have called intuition. You could call it our sixth sense. We've got 5 physical senses that we operate with in the 3-dimensional world, but we also have other senses that are invisible, and scientists don't really measure or dig into how they operate that much, although there are places on the planet where they're studying intuition, psychic ability, teaching people how to remote view. how to astrally project, do all sorts of amazing things, but you have to search to find these places. They're not mainstream. They're hidden away because most people are still afraid to even talk about things like spiritual sense or intuition. They just trust that whatever they're hearing every day with their five senses is going to get them through life. And if you're a curious person, you like to dig in and ask questions and find out what's really going on. And the more you fine tune your intuition, the safer you are, because if there's something looming up ahead that you need to know about, like don't get on that airplane, or don't eat that meal, or go get your car checked, or it could be something like connect with that person that you keep thinking about. Maybe there's a reason you need to talk to them, or follow your intuition if you're being guided to do something different with your life. And it will lead you to the next step and the next step and the next step. And if a step doesn't seem to work out, think of it as a stepping stone, because nobody lives in this dimension without experiencing failure. But when you use your intuition, you know how to get yourself to the next place where things will be working out in a better way for you. And I'm going to teach you how to use your intuition if you keep listening to me, because that's why I wrote my book. I've discovered a lot of the metaphysical secrets throughout my life because I'm a very curious person. So I wrote a book, and you can find it. You can actually go to my website, and I'll send you a copy of it for just shipping and handling. $9.95 to ship it off to you, signed copy. It's called Secrets of a Metaphysical Flight Attendant. And I share in that book many of the ways that I discovered these secrets and how I applied them throughout my life. So I hope to hear from you, and thank you. Goodbye.